Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be talking about one of the best decks right now in the game. Obviously with that new ban list, with a couple days gone by, now we have a better understanding of not only what people are playing, but what's actually winning the most in terms of like win-loss ratio across. Obviously online there's no like, in-person events right now, but there is technically remote duels. But I would still say Virtual World is probably still the best deck right now. Then it's for several reasons. You have so many different ways to loop your opponent to make it so they just cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! So previously, obviously you guys know about like S0, as well as the ability to go for VFD, the true king of all calamities, making it so all of your opponent's monsters won't have any effects and they can't attack, and then you just basically win. Well, now the new way to play them is, there's several different ways to play them. You can still kind of play them like you used to before, and you can still make a lot of really good combo plays, but now they're making it so you just have 0 cards, and when you have 0 cards, well, there's no playing anyways, right? At the end of the day, it's the same concept as this deck is very, very powerful, of course, with Gotems. Being able to go right into Trishula and just being like, dude, you just have no cards. It's so unfair. This deck is just so dominant. Even in the OCG, it's just so powerful for the most part. Like, no one really has a really easy matchup, especially if the deck does go first. But I also want to show you guys up against someone that might have like Nibiru or any other hand trap that normally would be very powerful in the game. This guy's playing some Zoo Eldritch, and he opened up with Nibiru. He's also, on top of that, got an Ash. So let's go ahead and see if he's going to be able to get rid of everything. And spoiler, he might be able to do it. But anyways, yeah, this deck is still very good, and there's lots of combos that will lead you into getting rid of all of your opponent's cards. Now in this instance over here, there is a number 75 being able to stop the Nibiru from being active. So if it is a card that maybe you think that your opponent has, obviously this is more so if you're playing in real life or someone counts the amount of summons that you do, like they'll have a dice, Sometimes people bluff with this thing as well, where they'll just try to pretend like they have Nibiru, but at the end of the day they don't. But you can still see the deck kind of play out over here. Like, Virtual World is still really, really powerful, as it is a deck that technically can grind game a little bit. I mean, sometimes you just need like 2 cards to really pop off with this deck. But at the end of the day, it has still one of the best turn 1 plays. As a turn 1 play in Yu-Gi-Oh! That would be the best is to either loop your opponent, get rid of all of their cards so they can't play, or just, make enough negates. But when you just get rid of as many cards as possible, it's very difficult for, again, most players to compete with, when they just top deck out of 1 card. Again, unless you can have like, maybe if there's zombies, they can start banishing stuff. But there is obviously the rank 9 that can get rid of stuff via banishing as well, which is of course the Interblasmir. I can just mouse over this card over here. We need to banish 1 card from your opponent's hand. You can do it from their graveyard or the top of their deck. So there's lots of different ways. So like, even if they get that one specific card that would combo off and do everything that they would need to do, just banish it with this card instead if you happen to hit it into the grave. So again, there's lots of different ways where you can get around certain things. And I like this little play over here, swapping that to attack vision, so we can go ahead and get the direct attack. There's a few other gameplays that I just want to go ahead and show off, just so you guys can get an idea of all the different ways that you can make like these insane turn 1 boards, as that's the most important thing with Virtual World, really, is their turn 1 play. It's on the same levels as, I would say, like any Link Dragon deck. It just comes down to enough negates to where the opponent does not get to Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is the best way to play. But nonetheless, just more different examples. And big shouts to AzneyesWhitedragon for hooking me up with the deck profile as well as the gameplay. And I'll give you guys the deck profile in a second. I just want to show you guys lots of different ways where you can open up with it. Plus, it has access to, of course, being able to go into Halki-Fibrax, which is really good, and I'll show you another like variant. There's lots of variants that lead up basically to the same combo, but I give you guys a variety just in case you guys want to go ahead and practice. But there's not too much in terms of like the change on the ban list, other than like VFD being gone. I mean, you could change up some of the numbers and ratios of cards if you want to, but obviously that's just like for the extra deck. And with this, the other guy has no cards, so with no cards is not going to be a good time. But nonetheless, over here, we have access to the side frame. So let me go ahead and show you guys this. So he's going to go activate Ash Blossom, and we'll get the side frame combo over here. And on top of that, get the extra Datascape card and go right into the Halki-Fibrax. And this card technically does actually have an ability on the field. A lot of people don't remember that Ghost Ogre, when monster on the field activates effect, while this card is already face up on the field, You can send it from your hand or field to the graveyard. So you could actually have another negate with this potentially if you wanted to, which is pretty cool. But I don't know, maybe this card, guys, do you guys think Cloud Castle has to be hit on the next ban list? Because it's what enables it, really. Or should we just hit Gotems? I don't know. At the end of the day, what other like card that would you go for? There might be something else. Maybe they just get rid of all. Maybe they just get rid of all the virtual worlds. I don't really know what the fix is with this, but it's like, you know, once one problem is solved, another couple arise, and this is like a really consistent, you know, combo that this deck can pull off. Another thing that I thought was really funny is he actually gets one card, but with Desert Locust, if you synchro summon it during the other player's turn, the turn player has to go -1, so he still loses out on his card. And I was just like, dude, this is unfair, man. That really is OP, and I think that, you know, obviously, the whole idea was to make it so when we got rid of S0 and the other card, we're supposed to make it so there's supposed to be some interaction. But Virtual is like, no interaction today. But let me go ahead and give you guys the deck profile in case any of you guys do want to go ahead and play it. So hopping right in over here, we got, of course, the Cyframe Driver and then 3 copies of Gamma. This lets you just go off with your combo pretty much just with this. And then, of course, you have 3 copies of the Lily and then 1 copy of Totu. And then we have 3 copies of Lao Lao, 3 copies of Riri, or Lulu in the TCG, right? And then we have Nyan Nyan, 3 copies of that. Then we got the Speedroid Terratop, and then 3 copies of the Gigi, and 1 copy of Takentomborg, and then 1 copy of the Psychic Wielder. And then we have 2 copies of Beast of the Pharaoh. You guys obviously saw the combo, but I want to mention this card's effect is not a once per turn, which actually makes it super, super powerful. And then we've got, of course, Ghost Ogre, and then we have 3 copies of the Kowloon, 3 copies of Desires to get more consistency, maybe just bait out the Ash, and then we've got Reasoning, because there's a lot of like levels in here that you could potentially hit, so it's good. And then we got the 1 E-Telly, then 3 copies of the King Long, and then 2 copies of the Kyushu, and we've got the Xuan Wu. And then for the extra deck over here, of course, you got Gotems, and then Jian Jian, and then the Chao Feng, which we never actually pulled off, but Trishula, it's another card, makes him go minus, the Crocosaur, which could give you potential draw, but pretty much the go-to combo is make Gotems. That's -1, -1, -1, and you just keep on bringing them back, man. And then we got Omega, then we got Coral Dragon, Stars Charge Warrior, then we got Desert Locust, another card where you can make it go -1, AA Zeus, and then the card Interplatinum, because this card could survive and you can go right into Zeus, or if number 75 happens to survive and you can get its effect, yeah, you can go into Zeus as well. And then, of course, Halki Vibrate, because that card belongs in every Yu-Gi-Oh deck. But once again, big shout outs to YuGiOh over here. I'll link him down below if you guys want to go ahead and check him out, another awesome content creator. But if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it, and if you're new here and want to see more cool Yu-Gi-Oh decks, and we will cover more of like the best decks from the new ban list, as that was kind of my main goal with you know, showing off this one. This one's probably still one of the best though. Again, if you take away all your opponent's cards, there's no Yu-Gi-Oh going on for one of the players. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and I'm signing out. Peace.